Did you know that we make about 35,000 decisions every day? It's a staggering number. And for leaders, these decisions can shape the future of their organizations. Studies show that poor decision-making costs businesses billions of dollars each year. In fact, a survey revealed that 98% of executives have made decisions they regret. But what if we could improve our decision-making skills? What if we could understand the hidden forces that drive our choices? This is where the psychology of decision-making comes into play. It's a fascinating field that reveals the inner workings of our minds. In this video, we'll dive into the brain's shortcuts and how they can lead us astray. You'll learn about cognitive biases and strategies to overcome them. We'll explore the power of emotional intelligence and why it's a game changer for leaders. You'll discover how to trust your gut without ignoring the facts. We'll also tackle decision fatigue and how it silently sabotages your leadership. And don't miss our deep dive into group dynamics. You'll see how to avoid groupthink and tap into collective wisdom. Ready to transform your decision-making skills? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Brain's Blueprint: Understanding Cognitive Biases. As a leader, it's crucial to understand how your brain works. Our brains love shortcuts, which help us make quick decisions. However, these shortcuts, or cognitive biases, can lead to errors. Did you know that over 90% of decisions are influenced by cognitive biases? This fact is highlighted in Daniel Kahneman's book, Thinking, Fast and Slow. One common bias is the confirmation bias. This is when we look for information that supports our existing beliefs. Imagine a leader who believes their company should invest in a new technology. They'll likely focus on data that supports this decision while ignoring data that doesn't. A good strategy is to actively seek out information that challenges your beliefs. This helps you see the full picture. Another bias is the anchoring effect. This happens when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive. For example, if the first bid for a project is $1 million, all subsequent bids will be compared to this anchor. To combat this, consider all information equally, regardless of the order in which it was received. The availability heuristic is another bias. We tend to overestimate the importance of information that is readily available to us. For instance, if a leader recently read about a company failure due to poor cybersecurity, they might overemphasize cybersecurity risks in their decision-making. A useful strategy is to gather diverse sources of information before making a decision. The sunk cost fallacy is a trap many leaders fall into. It's the tendency to continue investing in a losing proposition because of the resources already spent. Jeff Bezos once said, "I've made billions of dollars of failures at Amazon." This quote highlights the importance of knowing when to cut your losses. Lastly, there's the halo effect. This bias leads us to let one positive trait influence our overall perception of someone. For example, if an employee is very punctual, we might overestimate their overall performance. To avoid this, assess each trait or aspect of performance separately. Understanding these biases and implementing strategies to counteract them can lead to more rational and effective decision-making. The key is awareness and deliberate action. Chapter 2: Emotional Intelligence: The Hidden Driver of Decisions. Emotional intelligence, EI, is a game-changer in leadership. It's about recognizing and managing your emotions and understanding the emotions of others. Research shows that leaders with high EI are 70% more likely to succeed. That's a significant advantage. One core aspect of EI is self-awareness. This means knowing your strengths and weaknesses and understanding how your emotions affect your thoughts and actions. A practical tip is to keep a journal. Reflecting on your daily experiences can help you become more aware of your emotional triggers. Self-regulation is another component of EI. It involves controlling your emotions, especially in stressful situations. Think about it. Have you ever seen a successful leader lose their cool? Probably not. They know how to stay calm and composed. A strategy for this is deep breathing. When you feel stressed, take a few deep breaths to calm your mind. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is also crucial. It helps leaders build strong relationships and foster a positive work environment. A good practice is active listening. When you listen to your team members, you show that you value their opinions and feelings. Social skills are another part of EI. This includes communication, conflict resolution, and teamwork. Leaders with strong social skills are often better at motivating their teams and driving performance. A simple yet effective strategy is to regularly acknowledge and appreciate your team's efforts. Lastly, motivation is a key aspect of EI. It's about being driven to achieve for the sake of accomplishment. Leaders who are highly motivated tend to be more resilient and optimistic. A practical tip is to set clear, achievable goals. This gives you a sense of direction and purpose. Daniel Goleman, in his book, Emotional Intelligence, emphasizes that EI can be more important than IQ for success. Developing your EI can significantly improve your decision-making and leadership effectiveness. So, take the time to work on these skills. It's an investment that will pay off in every aspect of your leadership journey. Chapter 3: The Power of Intuition, Trusting Your Gut. Intuition, or gut feeling, plays a significant role in decision-making. It's that inner voice that guides you when logical reasoning isn't enough. Steve Jobs once said, "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become." This quote underlines the power of intuition in leadership. One strategy to harness intuition is to quiet your mind. Meditation can help. Research shows that regular meditation improves decision-making by enhancing intuitive thinking. Just 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. Another tip is to pay attention to your emotions. Often, your body reacts to decisions before your mind does. If a choice feels wrong, your body might respond with tension or discomfort. Listen to these signals. They're your intuition speaking. Experience is a great teacher. The more decisions you make, the sharper your intuition becomes. Think about Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, where he explains how experts make quick, accurate decisions based on their experiences. Reflect on past decisions and the outcomes to fine-tune your intuition. Balancing intuition with analysis is crucial. Don't rely solely on gut feelings. Gather relevant data and facts, and then let your intuition guide you in interpreting them. This approach is called data-informed intuition. Discussing your intuition with trusted advisors can also help. They can provide a different perspective and help validate your gut feelings. Collaboration often leads to better decisions. Lastly, be confident in your intuition. Doubt can cloud your judgment. Remember, intuition is a skill that improves with practice. The more you trust it, the more reliable it becomes. Chapter 4: Decision Fatigue, the Silent Saboteur. Decision fatigue is a real problem. It happens when you're overwhelmed by too many choices, leading to poor decisions. Studies show that people make worse decisions after a long session of decision-making. This was highlighted in a study of parole board decisions, where judges were more likely to grant parole early in the day than later. To combat decision fatigue, simplify your choices. Barack Obama used to wear only gray or blue suits to reduce daily decisions. Create routines for repetitive tasks to save your mental energy for more important decisions. Prioritize your decisions. Tackle the most critical ones when your mind is fresh. Morning is usually the best time for this. Save less important decisions for later in the day. Another strategy is to limit your options. Too many choices can be overwhelming. Stick to a few high-quality options to make the decision process easier. Delegate decisions whenever possible. Trust your team to handle certain tasks. This not only reduces your decision load but also empowers your team members. Taking breaks is essential. Your brain needs time to recharge. A short walk or a few minutes of relaxation can restore your mental energy. Research shows that even brief breaks can significantly improve focus and decision-making. Eating well also helps. Low glucose levels can impair decision-making. Have healthy snacks on hand to keep your energy levels up throughout the day. Avoid making decisions when you're tired. Fatigue can lead to shortcuts and poor choices. If you're feeling drained, postpone important decisions until you're rested. Lastly, practice self-care. Regular exercise, enough sleep, and stress management techniques like yoga can improve your overall decision-making ability. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. It needs care and recovery to function at its best. By implementing these strategies, you can minimize decision fatigue and maintain the high quality of your decisions. Being aware of this silent saboteur and taking steps to combat it can make a significant difference in your leadership effectiveness. Chapter 5. Groupthink versus collective wisdom: Navigating Team Dynamics. Groupthink can be a serious problem in leadership. It occurs when a group values harmony and conformity over critical thinking. This often leads to poor decisions. A famous example is the Bay of Pigs invasion. The US government made a poor decision due to groupthink. Irving Janis, who coined the term, highlights this in his book, Victims of Groupthink. To avoid groupthink, encourage open dialogue. Make it clear that dissenting opinions are welcome. You can say, "I want to hear different perspectives." This approach fosters a culture where team members feel safe to speak up. Diverse teams are less prone to groupthink. Studies show that diversity in age, gender, and background leads to better decision-making. Diversity brings different viewpoints and reduces the risk of everyone thinking alike. Another strategy is to appoint a devil's advocate. This person's role is to question assumptions and challenge ideas. It helps the team consider alternative viewpoints. It's like having a built-in critic to keep the team sharp. Encouraging independent thinking is also important. Before discussing a decision as a group, ask each team member to write down their thoughts. This reduces the influence of dominant voices and brings out individual insights. Break larger groups into smaller ones. Smaller groups are more likely to engage in meaningful discussions and less likely to fall into groupthink. Then, bring these smaller groups together to share their conclusions. Leaders should also be aware of their influence. If a leader shares their opinion first, it can sway the group. Instead, ask for input before giving your thoughts. This ensures that the team's ideas aren't overshadowed by the leaders. Use structured decision-making processes. Techniques like the Delphi method can help. This method involves rounds of anonymous feedback and discussion. It helps avoid the pressures of groupthink and leads to more thoughtful decisions. Chapter 6. The Future of Decision-Making: AI and Big Data. AI and big data are transforming how leaders make decisions. These technologies provide insights that were previously unimaginable. For example, Netflix uses AI to recommend shows. This has significantly increased viewer engagement. One strategy is to integrate AI into your decision-making process. AI can analyze vast amounts of data quickly and identify patterns. It helps leaders make data-driven decisions. However, it's important to understand the AI's limitations. It should complement human judgment, not replace it. Big data can provide a competitive edge. Companies like Amazon use big data to predict customer behavior. This helps them stay ahead of the competition. Leaders should leverage big data to gain insights into market trends and customer preferences. Data visualization tools are also useful. They help leaders understand complex data at a glance. Tools like Tableau and Power BI can transform raw data into easy-to-understand charts and graphs. This makes it easier to identify trends and make informed decisions. Ethics are crucial when using AI and big data. Leaders must ensure that data is used responsibly. This means protecting privacy and avoiding biases in AI algorithms. Ethical considerations should be a key part of your decision-making process. Invest in training. Your team needs to understand how to use AI and big data effectively. Provide training on data analytics and AI tools. This will empower your team to make better decisions. Collaborate with data scientists. They can provide valuable insights and help interpret complex data. A strong partnership between leaders and data experts can lead to better outcomes. Keep an eye on emerging technologies. The field of AI and big data is constantly evolving. Stay informed about new developments and consider how they might impact your decision-making process. Being proactive can give you a significant advantage.